All right, so hey, I'm gonna tell you about my experience at VidCon. This is the second year I went, and I think that I learned a lot between last year and this year, and I'm really glad that I came back, and I plan to come back many times. So that's what I'll be telling you about in this video. So VidCon is a conference for multi-genre online videos, basically. It was created by a couple guys named Hank and John Green. I think they're brothers. They had a popular YouTube channel and realized that they had something here and should put together an annual conference here in the US, and I think they've also started to spread to other countries now. The first year was in 2010, and I think there were about 1,400 people, and now there are, I think last year was about 26,000, and judging from what I've experienced this last couple days, probably many more. Lots and lots of people here. So in these top 10 tips for what I learned here at VidCon, I'm going to start off with just some logistical things like what you need to know when you arrive and how to get around. And then I'm going to move into things that I learned in the sessions around technical things, around watch time, the importance of analytics and data, and then end up number 10 with just some advice about what you can do if you are interested in media or entertainment in any way, some things that you should make sure you know about. So first, of course, I had to say goodnight and goodbye to my puppies. I left kind of late on a Wednesday evening, and ironically, or not so much if you know LA, there was traffic. And I, of course, did learn to make sure that you clean your window if you're gonna include your car window in a video. So tip number 1 is you don't have to get here at 7 a.m. on the first day. I thought I did. So I was all ready, and that's why I drove the night before to make sure that I got here on time. And 7 a.m., especially for an industry pass, even actually for the community and creator pass, there wasn't a long line at 7 a.m. I'm sure the lines got longer later in the day, but 7 a.m. was probably too early. Tip number two, it is packed. And there are a lot of screaming boys and girls of many different ages. I would say probably the range that I noticed was around 8 to teens, plus their parents, who some of whom were miserable. Others seemed to enjoy it and want to kind of play along. But yeah, it's packed, and just be ready for that. Like, know that that's part of it, and that is important because it's telling you what people are going to care about in the future. So I just kind of worked my way through those screaming crowds. Tip number 3, people are filming all the time. So just know that you are going to end up being recorded by somebody. I thought it was interesting that every time I was recording somebody, people kind of gave me this, they kind of glance at the camera. But the truth is, everybody is recording stuff all the time. People are taking selfies, people are recording themselves, recording other things. Everybody is walking around with a camera and a microphone, including this very interesting setup that this guy had. So you're gonna just see everyone recording. So if you don't want to be recorded, you really shouldn't be here because you are going to be recorded. Tip number 4, this makes me so happy. There are people of color all over the place at this conference, and I wasn't so sure last year, and I was concerned about that, but I am happy to report there are tons of people of color. They do have issues with including people of color within examples in the sessions, like giving examples of influencers. And I watch a lot of videos on YouTube. I watch a lot of people, Black people in particular, that have a whole lot of views, and it was disappointing that the sessions didn't uplift those creators as examples. So some of my favorites, Sweet Potato Soul, there are a lot of really great hair vloggers on YouTube. So check out YouTube, check out my playlist on YouTube, and you can see there are tons of people of color that are influencers and attending this event, so they should do even a better job. But I have to say I was pretty happy about that and impressed. One of the things that was really cool was this global audience, so this global reach. So there were tons of people speaking lots of different languages here. Video is a visual medium, so as long as you're telling a story visually, it doesn't matter that you don't speak that language. So it's really exciting and awesome that, that you have people from all over here at this conference and making all of this incredible content. Tip number 5, I'm an educator. I taught ESL for a really long time, and I love that there are tons of educator/creators here at the conference. So if you're interested in using online video in your classrooms, or you're interested in making videos to help students, there was so much here for that. Here's a video of Mr. Yancey, who uses rap and hip hop in his classroom to teach his lessons. First of all, I loved that the educator creators all kind of clearly knew each other, but also that they all take their information, giving the information that they're giving, they take it very, very seriously. And that was great to see. There were people who were educators and creators. There were also creators there who weren't educators, but they lean heavily on educators to make sure the content that they're creating is relevant and important and could be used in their classrooms, which was great. Fine, how are you?
Everybody wants to take my picture. I don't know why.
You're adorable.
We can't before.
Not one like you. You're adorable.
Oh,
You're amazing.
Thank you very much. I'm adorable.
Tip number 6. Tip number 6. Data. I know this won't surprise some of you who just do this all the time, and I am terrible at looking at my analytics. It's really hard because I hate marketing and I hate PR. I think I was raised to be averse to that. But if you are making content that you want other people to see, you're gonna have to consider that. You're gonna have to look at your numbers. You're gonna want to understand who your subscribers are. So I attended some great sessions on that. The things that stood out the most are, especially for YouTube now, are watch time and watch sessions. So YouTube cares deeply about how long somebody watches your video, and then also how long somebody stays on YouTube. So one of the tips they gave is to make sure that your tags and your description videos are keeping people within the platform. So I was kind of like sending people out to other platforms in my descriptions, and I'm gonna see what happens if I actually tell people or focus more on telling people watch another video on this channel. So that's something that was really, really important. And I loved this advice by Matt Pat, who I guess apparently should have known, but I know it's okay. I'm not a gamer, so I think they do more gaming videos, but this advice I thought was really, really useful for anyone.
So Halloween, everyone thinks like, oh, Halloween day is the time that that's when everyone's searching for it. But that's not actually true. Searches for Halloween start October 1st. And they really start to pick up about a week and a half before actual Halloween day. And so YouTube has always kind of been shifting around where that like ideal window to upload is. But what we would normally recommend is about 2 to 4 days ahead of the kind of the true peak of, or when you expect the peak of that searchability to happen, that's when you want your video to go live.
For tip number 6, data, make sure you use Google Trends when you're creating your tags and finding keywords. You can use Google Trends to see which words will help you get more views and more watch time. Use those words so people can find you. And again, I hate marketing, but the truth is you do want people to watch, right? So these are just some tips that you can use to make sure that people can find you. Tip number 7, authenticity. I learned throughout all of these sessions, the most important thing is for you to be yourself. Even after looking at, so many people talking about watch views, and of course there was a lot of focus on the business and industry and how you make money doing this, but something that throughout was clear is that authenticity is key, and that means that you are telling stories that are important to you, they're organic to you, and that is your base. And so one of the things that lots of people said was that they would rather see deep engagement by your audience on your particular videos with fewer views. They'd still rather see more engagement than just numbers of views. And I thought that was really great, because that is, if you look at my view numbers here, you will see that I have not put a lot of thought into that, but I put a lot of thought into what I say in these videos. And so I think that's just really important to know.
I graduated from film school about 15 years ago, and I spent about 10 years of that being really frustrated and writing scripts and feeling like I wasn't getting anywhere. And you know, I did a short stint on a serial, Australian serial, but I wasn't satisfied. I wasn't being able to tell the stories I wanted to tell. I went through a period of trying to write stories that I thought I should be writing and not stories that I wanted to write. And I had a real moment of epiphany where I had this realization that unless I told stories that I was passionate about and that I believed in, whether or not they got made, that I had to do that for myself.
Lesson number 8 is Facebook video. So Facebook is, you know, really clearly always trying to stay on the cutting edge of what's happening. And so they are doing lots to encourage people to use their platform to make online video. You can go live in 360 video. I'm gonna talk about 360 in the next lesson learned, but 360 video, VR video, these are the next wave. They're still trying to figure out exactly how to use it and monetize it and all those things. I think it's very complicated. You need to, at the moment still, the equipment's pretty heavy, and production is pretty heavy. Post-production can be heavy, but everybody should know, at the very least, start to get familiar with 360 video. So 360 video would be if you're watching this video and it is flat, but you could scroll your mouse around this room and you can see everything that's happening around this room. So you would literally be traveling around the room, but you're still seeing the flat image, but just within the video you're traveling around. Unlike full VR, virtual reality, where you're wearing the glasses and you're actually moving around. So even though you're still seeing a flat image, you feel like you're experiencing everything. And the VR is just a whole nother thing. What I love about VR is that people are using it as a tool for social change, which is really great. I'll put a link to some videos that I know of that are literally about like the importance of experiencing somebody else's life to help you have empathy for them. And I think that's a really great way that people are using VR now. And the woman from Riot mentioned a really cool VR company called Marshmallow Laser Feast. You know, I had to look at my notes and come back to you and say that. It's called Marshmallow Laser Feast. Check it out. But back to Facebook video. So they have partnerships with camera companies that are literally now creating the ability to do 360 video on your phone. So it's a little camera attachment that you're gonna put on your phone. That's insane. And Facebook's big announcement was that they are creating an app for creators. And this app is going to allow you to go live from the app. It's going to allow you to make, to add intros and outros just from your live. It's going to allow you to have branded content. So you can have frames, for example, to make sure your brand is clear on that content. You can also do live with, actually this is already happening. You can do live with, so you can go live and then you can have someone else go live and you'll have a picture and a picture of the other person going live. So you don't have to be together to go live together anymore. And then also Facebook introduced us to a woman named Bree Nguyen. She's their head of talent and creator partnerships. And she shared with us about 3 different creators using Facebook video really successfully. So here are the 3 examples. There's David Lopez, Nas Daily, and Laura Clary. So just take a look at what they're doing if you want to get some tips and ideas about things that you can do on Facebook, that you can use Facebook for. Use those as examples. They're getting lots of views and they are now signed with this kind of talent manager out of Facebook. So I thought that was really interesting. There's these whole new options for representation, right? You don't have to necessarily be represented by a traditional agency anymore. Lesson number 9 is it's all going to be mobile. Traditional TV and traditional film will still exist, but if you're interested in being sustainable and reaching younger audiences, and actually the truth is even some of us older folks, you've got to make your content available on mobile. And some of these platforms that presented here are only on mobile. So there are TV shows and movies that are literally only available on mobile. So there's Go90, there's Awesomeness, there are tons of options now. And again, the entire life of the project is on mobile. So you're not, I mean, maybe potentially this is going to transfer like Insecure did, but everybody, any entertainment company should be looking at doing mobile content that's going to just live on our phones and tablets. I mean, let's not get left behind. Which takes me to lesson number 10. Yo, this is the future of content consumption. So if you are a creator, if you are a producer or an executive, if you are a brand, if you are someone in marketing, there is just basically no reason why you shouldn't, number one, be at VidCon to understand what's going on and what the people that you want to market to are doing and talking about and care about. But also it's good. So much of the content is really, really strong and solid, and I just can't think of any good reason not to make sure that you are involved with it. So thank you for watching this video. If you want to learn more about me or my show, One Drop of Love, you can take a look at the other videos on this channel. I have a playlist, especially the One Drop of Love playlist. You can see Q&As for our shows. You can learn more. You can see a trailer for the show. You can follow me on Twitter at Fanshin. You can follow One Drop of Love on Twitter and Instagram at One Drop of Love. And did you go to VidCon this year? And what did you think? Because maybe you had a completely different experience. And I can imagine that some people might think that that's starting to sell out, and because it is getting bigger and bigger each year. But if you can make it to those smaller panels or to the panels in general, I think that I'm assuming that piece they'll keep doing, and that is well worth it. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope that you continue or get on this online video journey. If you don't, you're gonna be left behind, and why not, right? Why not? Thank you. Have a great day, a great evening, great morning. Bye.